in chapter 5, he says, he said, no, I did not come to abolish the law, but I came to fulfill it. And what people miss here is when Jesus began to speak, he was giving kingdom law, which overrides Mosaic law. Am I making sense? He was saying, now, the laws of Moses were good, but the laws that I have for you surpasses Moses' law. He said, the laws of Moses, you got credit for doing it, even though your heart wasn't in the right place. Am I making sense? You could do the laws of Moses and not have a relationship with God just because that's what you were supposed to do. But Jesus said, no, for me it's different. In order to enter the kingdom, your character has to change. Your character, and some of us, we claim that we have kingdom culture, kingdom mentalities, but we treat our spouses like trash. Talk to them any kind of way. And listen, do not, and I put this out here, do not have more respect for me than you do for your husband. Don't fix me no pie, cake, or cookies and you can't cook at home. Don't give me a yes, pastor, and at home it's like you better do it yourself. No, take care of home. I got, I'm good. And that works both ways. Brother, you shouldn't be recognizing everybody else's eyebrows if you ain't said nothing to your own wife about hers. Well. See, I know them women going to talk back to me, and you brothers just going to sit there. Because I'm going to tell you what happens. What happens if you're somebody like myself who grew up with my mom, my dad, of course, but I got all sisters, no brothers. And so I grew up around a whole bunch of females. So by nature, I pick up on things. My mom told me when I was in 10th grade, she said, boy, you dangerous. I said, why you say that? She said, boy, you got a woman's intuition. I said, I didn't know that was a compliment or if that was a shot at me. She said, no, you pick up on things that the normal man just don't pick up on. And she said, and that's dangerous if you know how to use it. So she's going to pray for you. I'm going to pray for you. Well, pray for me, mama. And then when I was in school, I used it to my advantage. I tell all my business. It don't matter to me because ain't nothing I'm telling you that my wife don't already know. That part. Come on, get it. You dropped it. Get your pen. I don't be acting like I don't see stuff. It's just, pick it up. Right? So when Jesus came on the scene, I'm going to show you how good Jesus is. He said, let me see. Yeah. Yes, there it is. In Matthew chapter number 5, verse number 13. He called his disciples to him. And he is telling them who they are. He's telling them who they are. He tells them, you are the salt of the earth. That's telling them that you are the power of the earth. You are the flavor enhancer of the earth. You are the potency of the earth. You are the potential of the earth. You are the preservative of the earth. And think about it. Without a preservative, y'all go look at your canned goods. That's why they're so full of salt, because salt preserve something for a time just in case you're not ready for it yet. See, somebody look at your neighbor and say, baby, you being preserved. That means they ain't ready for you yet. They're not ready. They're not ready for you yet, but it is your responsibility to stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Like if you know in your heart you are a wife, you got to stop sleeping with everybody. If you know that you are a husband, house band, watch this. Let me help you here. Brother, you a husband whether you married or not. Because the word husband means house band, which means that he is the one that is supposed to band the house together. But in our generations, grandma has been the one banding the house together. Y'all don't like this. You have a responsibility as a man to treat every woman like your sister. I'm in the book. But when they try to treat you like a sister, let him treat you not a sister, but a sister. Yeah, I heard y'all. He says, now he's telling them this, he's letting them know. Man, this is Jesus talking to his disciples. God showed me this. The same way I stand to talk to y'all. Let that sit on you for a second. All of his disciples, he said, y'all come here, and everybody else followed. But he's talking to his disciples. He's not talking to everybody. He said, you are the salt of the earth. Then he tells them, but if the salt loses its saltiness, if you lose your power, if you lose your potential, if you lose your preservation, yes, God, pre-reservation, yeah. If you lose that, how can it be made salty again? It didn't say that it couldn't be made salty again. He says, how? How can it be made salty again? He says, it is no longer good for anything. As long as you're not salt, you're not good for nothing. I didn't say it. It's up there. You ever seasoned something and it was perfect? And you had the right amount of salt in it. It just tapped. Some of y'all use too much salt. But anyway, y'all, salt is not a flavor. It's an enhancer. If you're putting salt on stuff before you ever tasted, you probably got high blood pressure. Y'all laughing, but I'm serious. And you got to stop and think. I'm going to give y'all a class real quick. There are salt alternatives. Like lemon zest, lime zest, all of those herbs. Let me give you a schooling real quick. You know there are like 4 or 5 parts on your tongue that notices flavor. I'm serious. That notices flavor, and what a real cook does is he tries to tap into all the 4 or 5 parts on your tongue to bring the flavor together. 9 times out of 10, if he can do that, he didn't have to use salt at all. Remember that. Now, back to the salt. Watch. I did something yesterday. I just felt like I want to do some greens, right? So I hooked my greens up, and I put all my little stuff in there, and the flavor was popping, Jarrell. I was like, oh yeah, that's it. And I said, no, don't bring them here. No. And I taste them, right? I said, oh, that's right. But then I went and add the regular other stuff. I added me some extra onions, added me a little extra garlic, added me a little extra green peppers, added a whole bunch of little extra stuff. And I went back 10 minutes later, and that flavor was diluted. I said, now, that salt was popping a while ago. Everything was great. But what came to me is that when I put all that other stuff in the greens, that other stuff was full of water. And so what happens is all the extra water from all of the excess stuff watered down my flavor. Meaning that sometimes you can put so much extra stuff in your spirit to where you got to take a watered down word in order to understand it. Anytime the word has to be watered down, it's no longer the word. That's why it doesn't have power, it doesn't have salt, and that's why it can't preserve you because it's been watered down. I'm talking good in here. Robinson, boy, you talking good in here. Back to this Bible. Now this is cold. He says, it's no longer, see, Jesus didn't pull no punches, man. He just said it's no longer good for anything except to be thrown out and trampled underfoot. Next one. But he's telling them, go to 14. He says, you are the light of the world. You are the knowledge of the world. You are the exposure. Y'all not hearing that. Of the world. In other words, if I am living a kingdom life for Christ, I expose darkness just because I showed up. People that are living in darkness are uncomfortable when I walk into the room. The conversation changes. They was cussing somebody out before I walked out to the parking lot. When I went up to their car, they was like, well, hey, Pastor, how you doing? That was a good message. And the whole time he's sitting over on the passenger side or driving, don't even want to make eye contact because of that blade that came out right before I got there. Oh, that's a blade, Terry. That's a blade. Says, you are the light of what? Of what? You are the light of the world. A town. Woo, that's even bigger. A town. What's all in a town? Come on, talk to me. What's all in a town? Legal, financial, laws, rules, prosperity. He said, you are a town built. He said, you are the light of the world, a town built on a hill that cannot be hidden. The reason why everybody sees you is because they see your light. Bugs are attracted to light. You ever went to a football game and you look at that light up there? And you see nothing but bugs up there just tearing that light up. Y'all already know this. I did research on that. And what's happening is these bugs are basically blind. And in the daytime, they migrate towards the sun. Wherever they feel the rays of light coming from, that's the direction they migrate into. And so at night, what happens when there is a night light on, they are deceived into thinking that they're going toward the sun. And that's why they keep bumping into the light, because they think they're going in the right direction. There was a time at our old house, right when we lived over here, I saw this happening in the backyard. And then one night I went out there and I seen a spider had put a web right in front of the light bulb. Now, if a spider got that kind of wisdom, that spider says, They keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, thinking that they're going toward the sun, but it's really a fake light. Somebody gonna catch that in a minute. And so the spider put a trap, this is the God honest truth, right in front of the light. And I went out there the next day and I seen moths flying, going right into the trap. And the spider would come down. Yep. Wrap him up. Y'all not catching this. Wrap him up and then save him for later. Why? All because you're dealing with an insect that was blind and could not tell the sun from a light bulb. How many of us are going into the world blind and we can't tell the sun The S-O-N, not the S-U-N. We think everything is Jesus until we get trapped. He said, you are the light of the world, a town built on a hill that cannot be hidden. As a kingdom citizen, that's the reason why I can stand up here and see what's going on, because you can't hide. We can try to hide, but you can't hide. Do you not think that God has me here and won't give me the exposure necessary in order to preach or teach you? Next one. It got too serious right there. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on its stand. See, that word "it" stuck out to me. Meaning that if I'm going to light you, I already have a position for you. You don't have to try to take somebody else's platform. I have a place for you if I am the one that set you on fire. Yeah, and gives light to who? Gives light to who? Everyone. Where? Everywhere. What? Are you a light in your house? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How many of us come to church and we want to be a light at church, but at home we ain't the light in the house? Come on, sir. Come on. You teach now. Oh, yeah. That right there. I didn't say it, Jesus said it. But see, he's telling his disciples, look, this is what I know about you, not what I think. I know you are the salt of the earth. Without you, none of this happens. I know you are the light of the world. Why? Because my word is in you. I am telling you that you are all of these things. And so now that he's got them all feeling good about themselves, when Jesus comes and tell you, you know what you call you the light of the world. Jesus is saying it's the one that you just saw heal the sick, raise the dead. You just saw this man walk on water, and he just told you to your face, you are somebody. Let that rest for half a second. He didn't say you're nothing because you don't do what I do or you can't do what I do. No, he says, no, you are somebody. Without you, this thing don't happen. Do y'all feel like that? Oh, man, I got a long way to go, Jarrell. Well, job security. Next verse. It says, in the same way, let your light shine where? Let your light shine where? That they may see your good deeds and glorify who? Uh-oh. And glorify who? That word Father translates to the word source. The word Father means source. This is what we don't want to hear. If Father is the source, what's Mama? Resource. When the resource has to sit in the position and do the job of the source. Power eventually runs out. That's where we are in this world right now. We are surviving, thank God, but we are surviving off the resource. Because the source in a lot of cases are out of position. Stop saying that you want a godly man in your life, or your husband has turned and he's trying to walk for God. Now when you start feeling that shift of power happen and you stand against it. Ooh. Because I see y'all. I see you. You've been the one that's been in control in the house all of this time. And now pastor is speaking to them. Life is coming into these men. They want to step up and be the men that they've been called to be. And when they step up to say, you know what, we need to go. You just got in church. How you going to tell somebody how to be saved? that sends him right back to a cocoon. But brother, you got to be willing to keep going. Because I do believe when Adam and Eve messed up, God didn't say, Adam and Eve, come here. He said, Adam. Meaning when I call you, I just expect your family to show up. Hello, somebody. Let me help you here. Listen here, bruh. Yeah, I got your attention now. Your wife ain't supposed to be the one leading the family in prayer every night. Hold your head up in here. You are the priest of the home. You're supposed to be more in the Bible than she is. You're supposed to be the one leading in prayer. You're the one that's supposed to be saying, come to the table, we gonna have Bible study, lead them phones upstairs. But when you're so busy doing your own thing, oh, y'all don't like this. This is kingdom teaching right here, because you cannot claim to be a king if you don't rule your own territory. No, sir. No, sir. You have a responsibility, because God is going to come to you as the priest of the home. And he says, I put you in charge. She's supposed to be chilling. Let me get in here real quick. Now we're going to go to verse number 20. See, Jesus is establishing kingdom law, which surpasses Mosaic law. He is saying this, if you're going to call yourself a kingdom citizen. Now, I just told you everything good about yourself. He gassed them up. And I just told you how beautiful you are, how wonderful you are, and that you're the light of the world. You have this power, you have this authority, but this is what comes with it. What is it? Yes. Conduct is the fruit of character. How you conduct yourself is the evidence of your character. See, because Jesus said, I need to deal with their character. And their character will be, their conduct will be a mirror of their character. Anybody can act right for a minute. Hey, God. But when your character is right, you can't help but to be who you are regardless of where you are. Oh, y'all don't want to talk back to me, because too many of us can cuss people out with ease and lie on people with ease and sleep around with people, get high. We can do it with ease as long as we don't think nobody watching. But then we want to stand up and say that our character is right. God is like, no, that ain't no characteristic of a kingdom citizen. He says, for I tell you, unless your righteousness surpasses that of the Pharisees. See, we be so running around here hollering, well, the law is dead. We don't have to obey the law no more. Brother, do you not realize that Jesus made it harder? Say anybody can obey regular rules. Well, I ain't going to say anybody, because the law was very, very hard. But Jesus said your conduct, your characteristics. And he says if your righteousness does not surpass that of the Pharisees, and I believe the Jerusalem Bible says if your virtue goes no deeper than that. And that's talking about your moral character. If your moral character is not any better than that of the Pharisees, yes, and the teachers of the law, you will certainly not enter into the kingdom of heaven. That word enter means see. So if your character is worldly character, when things of the kingdom are happening, you won't be able to see it. You'll always look at things on CNN at face value. You'll look at everything that's popping up on the internet as at face value. This is why, and you can tell the position and the state of the kingdom-minded people now is because even when it comes to the election, they're not looking at things for what they are. They're looking at things at face value. And what we're seeing right in front of us, the Bible says in the last days, even the righteous, if they can be, will be deceived. There are a lot of mega pastors that are pushing things and they're being deceived based off of who the people are in their congregation. They're allowing their congregation to make the decision for them just so they can keep the seats filled. I'll lose about half of y'all. He says, you will certainly not see the kingdom of heaven. Next one. You have heard? Yes. Now see, this is the old law. He said, you have heard it said to people long ago, you shall not murder. And anyone who murders will be subject to judgment. That sounds fair, right? That sound fair? But what did Jesus say? What's the first word he say? But. What did he say? But. So what does the word but do? Cancel out everything that you just said before. He said, but I tell you that anyone who is angry with his brother or sister will be subject to judgment. The law talked about killing somebody. Jesus flat out said, if you mad and angry at somebody, boy, that's digging deep into character, because sometimes you feel like you got the right to be angry at someone. Oh, y'all don't believe me? Yeah, but you say you're a kingdom citizen. He said, this is the kingdom law. This is the kingdom law. This is the kingdom law. Let me read it out of this. You have learned this. That's pretty much saying the same thing, right? And it says, again, I say, again, anyone who says to his brother or sister, Raka, is answerable to the court. He said, if you call your brother or sister a fool, how many of y'all use that word loosely? Yeah. And what is a fool? Huh? That says if you call your brother a fool, you're answerable to court. It's talking about the Sanhedrin. And then it says anyone who says you fool will be in danger of the fire of hell. But the regular version says anyone who calls him a renegade, he will answer for it in hellfire. It didn't say about being a danger. In the original version, it said you will answer for it while you in hell. What you claiming that we kingdom citizens, though, right? Now, this sounds a little bit deeper than the Mosaic law. This is dealing with our heart. This is dealing with our character. So you don't have the room to harbor unforgiveness in anybody. As a kingdom citizen, I'm not hurtful. I understand my culture. I understand what my ancestors went through, but I can't take that unforgiveness and that hurt and that pain and bleed it over into my children because I'm justified.